It was James Baldwin's voice that helped me find my own voice. Sometimes the freedom of others releases the freedom in you. It was Baldwin. I remember there sitting, reading the opening lines of The Fire Next Time, as Baldwin began to write the letter to his nephew. Right. It would be in those letters, it would be in that letter that Baldwin would say, you are where you are because you are black, and for no other reason. The black man operates in the white man's world as a fixed star. To move him is to move heaven and earth. Baldwin had such an impact on me because Baldwin's words were clear, concise, and true. Baldwin was my hero. Right. There were several reasons as I read Baldwin that I discovered that his words would release something in me that would be so profoundly necessary for my journey in life and for my character in life. Right. It was Baldwin who once said that he just wanted to be an honest writer and a good man. It was Baldwin's words, my hero, that released the hero in me. What I liked about Baldwin is that Baldwin was a truth teller, y'all. All right. He was a truth teller. Right. That doesn't mean anything to you guys because we just take truth so casually. But can I suggest to you that in a world full of lies, truth becomes a revolutionary act. Telling the truth will get you in trouble. And the truth of the matter is, if you don't believe me, you can look through the annals and the halls of history, and you can look at truth tellers. Telling the truth is risky business. If you don't believe me, ask Dr. King. Telling the truth can get you killed. If you don't believe me, ask Bobby Kennedy. Telling the truth can get you killed. If you don't believe me, ask Malcolm X as he stands there and says the chickens have come home to the roost. Telling the truth can get you in trouble. And the truth of the matter is, we don't like truth because we would rather live in lies. Let me unpack some of the things that Baldwin would say that shattered my truth. It was James Baldwin who was 16 years old, and from the age of 16, from the age of almost 14 to 17, he was a preacher in a black Pentecostal church. And Baldwin says while he was preaching in this black Pentecostal church, he said it was the most dishonest time of his life. Catch this. Baldwin then would say, Rob, I had to quit the church to preach the gospel. Y'all miss it. Baldwin said I had to quit the church to preach the gospel because although we have the rhetoric of Christ, we don't meet the requirements of Christ. Although we act as if we have the brand of Christ, the brand really doesn't match our lifestyle. It is pervasive throughout the Republican Party. They have the rhetoric of Christ, but they don't meet the lifestyle of Christ. That is why they can suggest and champion the message of Christ, but then deny Syrian refugees into this country because you can have the rhetoric and don't meet the requirements. And it was Baldwin who first introduced me to the idea that the church may not be Christian. We may be a social club, but we ain't a Christian club. It was Baldwin, the truth teller. And can I suggest to you, we don't like telling the truth right now. That's why many of us feel comfortable in congregations and in places where people are lying to us, and our lives never get better, but we feel comfortable in lies. That's why the pastor can drive a Bentley and all the people catch the bus and nobody say anything because we live comfortable in lies. That's why they can put more money in a casino than they ever did at Coppin and the church not say anything because we feel comfortable in lies. That's why there's 16,000 vacant homes in Baltimore and nobody gives a damn because we feel comfortable in lies. And Baldwin taught me that if you're going to be an honest man, you got to have the ability to tell the truth. And can I tell you, you need to tell the truth. And if we looked at our country right now and told the truth, then we would suggest that America doesn't trust in God. The God of America ain't God, but the God of America is the three twins: capitalism, militarism, and racism. America is built on capitalism. That's why you have to have millions of dollars before you can ever run in any campaign, because we don't believe in God, we believe in capitalism. And not only do we believe in capitalism, we believe in militarism. That's why we will take our armies and station our armies in somebody else's country and tell them that we're trying to forge democracy because we don't believe in God. We have an imperialistic imagination that seeks to determine how other people should live our lives. But not only do we believe in capitalism and militarism, we also believe in racism. Yes, America is still racist. And if you don't believe America is still racist, ask the mother of Trayvon Martin. If you don't believe America is still racist, ask the mother of Eric Gardner. If you don't believe America is still racist, ask the mother of Jordan Davis. If you don't believe America, I can keep going and going on and going and going because we are a racist society, and you got to be willing to tell the truth. And I'm afraid, David, they used to say, where are all the prophets gone? We asked this question about where the prophets have gone, but Baldwin has taught me that sometimes the prophet is not in the church, but sometimes the prophet is in the street. It was Baldwin who told the truth. He said, I had to quit the church to preach the gospel. Can I give you another shattering truth that Baldwin said? It would be Baldwin who said to me in poignant writing, he said this, and he said, if the concept of God is to mean anything, then the concept of God is to make us larger, freer, and better. And if God can't make us larger, freer, and better, it's time we get rid of him. Now, I got a question. How can you be saved your whole life and still be nasty? How can you be saved your whole life and not treat people right? Because the concept of God is some manipulative deity in the sky. It doesn't make us better, but we doesn't make us better. We can come to church all our lives and walk past people who don't even eat because the concept of God means nothing to us. Baldwin was a truth teller, y'all. He was a truth teller prophet, but Baldwin wasn't just a truth teller prophet. Baldwin was an activist. Baldwin was an artist creator. In other words, Baldwin didn't just stop at telling the truth. He didn't try to deconstruct America, but through his art, he tried to construct a world that should be. And it is the responsibility of all of us, not just to talk about the world that is, but to construct a world that should be. And that's what we're trying to do in Giant Steps. We're not the biggest church or the best church yet, but what we are trying to do is to construct the world as it should be. I just believe that every child, as Martin Luther King said, should go to bed with a meal in their stomach because that's the way the world should be. I believe that women should get equal pay for equal work. That's the way the world should be. I believe, watch this, I believe that if we're going to have LGBT gay people play our organs in this and sing our songs, we ought to act like they're half of human beings in our churches. I just believe that this is the way the world should be. And it is our mandate not to look at the way the world is, but to construct the way the world should be. And that's what Baldwin was doing when he wrote The Fire Next Time. He was writing about the way the world should be. That was what he was trying to reveal in us and Go Tell It on the Mountain about how the church should be. That's what he was talking about in Love in Giovanni's room. That was how the world should be. Can I ask you this question? What are you doing to better the world? And many of us are resting upon a heritage, but our future generation will have no heritage to rest upon because we are resting and not working. But good God Almighty, you have to construct the way the world should be. I'm done. David is coming and Mark is coming. They're going to be more profound than me, trust me. Well, they're going to construct the way the world should be. Baldwin was a prophet, truth teller. Baldwin was an activist creator. But the last thing I noticed about Baldwin, my hero, he was a friend and a lover. If all can I tell you, it doesn't mean how many books you write. It doesn't matter how great you are. It doesn't matter how many songs you sing. It doesn't matter how much you can preach. But if you don't learn how to love people, if you don't know how to stick with people, if you don't learn how to be there for people, and Baldwin had that love in him. He had that agape love. And he had that love not just for his people, but he had enough love in him that he could love those who oppressed his people. And can I tell you, what we are called to do is love people back to life. You got to be able to love people. And what I've learned in the voice of Baldwin is how to love. And can I suggest what I've learned in him, not only to tell the truth, not only to create, but to love. And if tonight I shall fall on the sword of Israel and be no more, I want it to be said of my own life that I spent my life trying to be honest, that I spent my life trying to love, and I spent my life trying to create. Baldwin is trying to teach all of us today that in our DNA is a creativity that requires all of us to tell the truth. Baldwin is my hero. God bless you.